Hey, it's Ivana. Welcome to my channel, and today I'm going to talk about what the best day is to get new habits started. Now, with New Year's just recently behind us, this is usually a really popular day to get something brand new started. Other days include things like your birthday, maybe Monday, the first of the month. There are days where we place a lot higher hopes that if we started something new, we'll be able to stick to it. Now, more often than not, we learn that it really isn't about the day. It's more about all the stuff that we do after that day has passed, but never mind. If you really ask anybody, is there really a best day to start? A motivational speaker would say, right now is the best day. But really, is there any merit to any of that? Besides right now, what are good days to get started? And this is really what this conversation is about. Now, the first thing I'm going to ask you is, why do we use the days that we use to get brand new things started? The answer for that is we associate brand new things like a brand new start with something that already is a natural start. Something like the start of a new year, the start of a new month, the start of a new week already signifies the beginning of something new, which usually is the reason why we start using those days to get ourselves started. But whether you knew this or not, this is still a fact. Starting a brand new habit, a brand new behavior is actually very exhausting on your brain. So if you think about, let's say, the first day of work, you're not really doing the most amount of work that first day or that first week, but it's the most exhausting because you're trying to remember so many things, so many processes, so many people, so many steps that you're trying to solidify in your head as quickly as possible so that you become useful at work. This is what it's like when we're building new habits. It's actually very tiring because we have to keep so much more things in mind. We have to be way more alert. We have to be with it and present, dodging all of the temptations and obstacles. So it's actually a very tiring process. So keep this in mind. Now, another brand new thing that you may not have realized, but probably did a little bit, is that we actually don't live in a Monday to Friday, 9 to 5 type of world anymore. Yet, we still use Mondays as our day to get things started. This really is more based on like what we're used to and mentally what we associate Mondays with, but Mondays are the start of a brand new week. However, we don't live in that world anymore where everyone starts on a Monday and everyone does a 9 to 5. I am one of those people that doesn't. My week is like 7-day week. My weekend could be a Tuesday. I could be working on a Saturday evening. Like, there is no rhyme or rhythm to my schedule, and a lot of people find themselves in the same spot, which means that a Monday start or even like the first of the month isn't always the most convenient. So what do? Let's just make it as easy as possible for ourselves and start with something that makes it a lot easier for us just to integrate into what's already going on, which is your schedule. Now, the reason Mondays aren't actually a good idea to get started, whether a Monday is an actual Monday or any other day of the week, is that Mondays usually are the start of a lot of work that's ahead of you. Either mentally, you know it's going to be a few more days till you get a day off, or usually you come back from the days off with more things waiting for you to do. There's usually a lot more catch-up work in that beginning of the week or the beginning of stretch of your work. So Mondays are actually very tiring. They're very mentally exhausting and or physically exhausting. So as I mentioned before, habits are actually quite tasking on us mentally. Does it make sense to put the heaviest day in your week and match it up with probably one of the harder things you're going to try to do, which is try to get something brand new started? In fact, it is not the brightest idea. So what do? What other days in the week seem to make the most sense? Well, if we go back to the standard Monday to Friday, 9 to 5 type of work, the laziest days of the week will be Fridays, and the second laziest day of the week will be a Thursday. So even though it doesn't make sense for you to start on those days, it actually does literally make a lot more sense because the less tasking things you put on yourself to deal with at the same time, the easier it's going to be to handle really any one thing at a time. So while you're busy focusing on work, maybe during the earlier set of the week, earlier stretch, you're mentally winding down as the week is progressing and you're approaching your days off. Whether that's Friday or that's another day in a week, you're mentally winding down because, we've all been there, like the time is counting down, you got a few more hours, you're like, I'm out of here. Like mentally you are gone. You're there in body hanging on until the time is done. So those are actually the best days to get something brand new started because you can now focus on something different. Yes, you're like, I kind of want to unwind, but leading into like a day or so off is actually really great because it gives you a break. It gives you just only one or two things to focus on. So a really great day to start would be like a Thursday or a Friday, whatever that looks like in your world, because it'll give you kind of like, an easy peasy way to get started, and usually you're following with a few days off, and that'll help you get a little bit more comfortable, solidify whatever behavior you want a few more days before you start diving into what is considered your Monday. And then you're already like a little bit more confident in what you're doing, and you're a few days in, and it just doesn't feel as horrible versus jumping in Monday with everything brand new. So this is actually one of the better days to get started, which I actually thought was kind of weird because I never really thought about it, but I read up on it, and companies are actually using this to start brand new hires. It's been quite many years since I've started my work, but I did read that a lot more companies are utilizing Thursdays and Fridays for brand new hire days because it does exactly that. It makes it easier for the brand new person to get adjusted because it gives them like 1 or 2 days to get acquainted with the new environment, get to know what's going on, give them a couple of days to kind of like, mentally digest everything, and also makes it a lot easier on everybody else that's there teaching and training, because they've gotten a chance to get the bulk from their work out of the way for the week, and now they're a little bit more interested in helping somebody else in training, which is also a very hard task as well. So I didn't come up with this one, but I did utilize it myself, and I used this on myself a little while ago when I was trying to get myself into a bedtime routine, which was getting myself to bed at 10 p.m. And my goal was to do that because I wanted to get up earlier in the week, or I guess earlier in the day. And so I actually started in the middle of the week. I think it was like a Wednesday, maybe a Thursday. And the reason I picked that day is because I was actually off the next day. It's weird because, like, again, that's the middle of the week for me, but I picked a day where like I didn't have to worry if I could manage to get to sleep right on time when I wanted, and I didn't have to worry about getting up at a particular time. I wanted to see how I can naturally just like make it easy for myself and like kind of just slip into the flow of what already works for my schedule that's already happening. So starting on kind of like in the middle of the week gave me a few days to get myself solidified. I had a chance to sleep in, and it made it easier for me to kind of adopt this new habit. Then the weekend came, same thing, and by the time I was back to work the next week, I was pretty solid. So this was my way of applying that. Let me know if you've actually ever tried doing something like this, or what is your favorite day to get something brand new started. Let me know what's worked for you. If you like this video, like and subscribe to this channel, and there'll be more stuff like this coming out.